This is AFTV VIP, the official web app with members-only content, has no ads and a live in-game match center. The bias predictor, it has daily polls and the AFTV 11 selector. Just one click away. Hi and welcome along to our AFTV Transfer Daily Extra Special. And I mean extra special because we've got a very special guest with us today, and that's Fabrizio Romano. How you doing, Fabrizio?
Hello, my friend. Always big pleasure to be with you. So thank you for the invitation and happy to be with you and with Arsenal fans. No problem. And of course, in the summer and now a busy time of year for you. What have you've been doing all the usual, checking all the links? Always, yes, trying to find something new, also with new sources. I always try to meet new people because it's important. Obviously, with the pandemic, it's impossible to go around the city and meeting new people, but trying to call and to make new contacts because it's important. It's not an easy window, you know, because top clubs are having big problems with money. So in Premier League also, but also in other countries, also here in Italy, like in La Liga. It's a difficult situation, but let's see, because I think in the next week, something's going to happen. Do you think that, like, in this window, we're looking at mainly loan deals? Because I mean, I do my show Transfer Daily every day, and everybody's screaming out, Robbie, we need to spend this amount of money on that and that money. And I'm saying that this is a different window. So do you think it's mainly going to be loans? I think you're absolutely right, just because obviously it's so difficult to spend money in this moment, and the clubs are having big problems with spending money also because they can't plan with the future of the club. They don't know what's going on with the stadium, when the people can go to the stadium again. Also with the merchandising, they're having big problems. So it's incredible, but big clubs are having bigger problems just because they had this kind of problems also with the stadium issues, with the merchandising. So it's really complicated. I expect something to happen with loan deals at the end of the market. So like in the last week, in the last 10 days, also because in this moment, also when the clubs want to sell some player, to loan out some player, they can change their position in a loan deal. So probably today they're going to tell you, okay, I want a permanent deal or nothing. In the last week, something can change in the market. So that's why many clubs are also waiting for opportunities, as Arsenal too. Do you think there's going to be a bit of a rush right at the end of the window? Yes. It's typical, but in particular in this kind of window with no money, with no big clubs involved, because really top clubs like Bayern-Emerick, also Juventus and Inter and Spanish clubs, they are not doing anything. So it's really complicated to move money in this moment. Okay, well, listen, let's talk about some of the players at Arsenal, players that have been linked with a move in. I'm going to start, though, with players that could be going out, because I think it's quite clear at Arsenal they're trying to shift a load of players, and none bigger than Mesut Ozil at the moment. He's the guy that they've been trying to move out, well, since last summer, or probably even before that. Links with Fenerbahce, links with the MLS. What have you been hearing? Yes, the MLS is DC United who are trying to sign Mesut Ozil, and obviously Fenerbahce are pushing with the player. I'm told that the priority for the player is Fenerbahce, so he wants to go to Turkey, but they have to find an agreement with Arsenal about the salary of the player. Also, if he will terminate his contract immediately, they need to understand how to do with the contract of Mesut Ozil with Fenerbahce. So it's never easy to find an agreement on this kind of salary for a Turkish club in normal conditions. Imagine today in this kind of market. So that's why they need some days to fix some issue, and everything is done yet. So they need to complete some details in the next days. The player is hoping to move, and obviously Arsenal, as you said, they want to sell Mesut Ozil because they need to change, and selling players is so important in this market to sign new ones. So that's why Arsenal are hoping Mesut Ozil to leave the club in the coming days. Fenerbahce are the favorite, also because MLS side, DC United, yes, they're trying, but they know that the priority is Fenerbahce, that he's really close to join Fenerbahce. But it's not a done deal, and with Turkish clubs, you need to wait till the end because it's never easy to complete the agreement. Obviously, I think that the chapter of Mesut Ozil with Arsenal is obviously finished. Okay, there was another player linked with Fenerbahce, and that's Socrates. Socrates, again, another one of those players who's been at Arsenal, hasn't figured, hasn't played a single minute of the season. What have you been hearing about Socrates? He's another player who's going to leave the club, as you said, for Ozil, and as we saw also for Saliba, for Kolasinac, he will be the next one, just because he's talking with many clubs. As you said, Fenerbahce, like 1 week ago, contacted directly the player, so they have not done anything with Arsenal, but they were just speaking with the player. Then Genoa had a contact also with Arsenal, trying to sign the player, and at the start of the negotiation, they were confident because Socrates said, okay, let's talk about it, about this opportunity of coming back to Genoa, because he was at Genoa in Italy before joining AC Milan and then Arsenal in his career. But now he's not so convinced about Genoa, also because of their position in the table here in Serie A. They are not having a good season. So he's considering also another option with Real Betis in La Liga. So to go to Spain, it could be an opportunity for him. So he's thinking about the next destination, but I'm sure that he's leaving Arsenal. It's over. He was so close to leave Arsenal last summer with Napoli. Do you remember we spoke about it here, also about the possibility of joining Napoli if Koulibaly was going to join Manchester City? Then the deal between Manchester City and Koulibaly was cancelled, and that's why Socrates was staying. But at the moment, I think he's going to leave the club for sure.
Okay, there's one player that I think has been linked with a move away. A lot of us Arsenal fans are like horrified. We're like, no, please, we don't want this guy to go. And that's following Balogun, who's one of our young players. When he's coming in the Europa League, he's looked really, really good this season. But there is talk about him leaving.
Yes, and I like to speak about Balogun because I agree with you. First of all, my personal opinion, he's an amazing talent, really. He's an amazing talent, and it's crazy to arrive in January negotiating with his agents and not having a contract date like 1 year ago or 2 years ago, just because you need to be fast when you have this kind of talent. So I agree with you about the player. And the situation is that I'm told that he's not close. Balogun is not close to sign with another club. He has like 15 bids on the table from Italian clubs, English clubs also, German clubs. Many clubs are talking with his agent, because when you can do it, because now obviously he's a potential free agent for next summer, they are talking with his agent. They are offering something different. You know, he has some big clubs ready to take him as part of the future of the club, but also like middle table clubs trying to get him to make him play, because Balogun wants to play. His priority is to play. And as you said, in Europa League, he was amazing, but he was playing like 60 minutes in total in Europa League. And that's why the player is not so happy. He wants to play. And he's still open to talk with Arsenal about a new contract if they will make him play. He's just not happy, and he's talking with other clubs just because he's not playing. So at the moment, the situation is so open. If Arsenal will change the situation with Mikel Arteta making him play in the next weeks, for sure, I think the situation can change, and we can sit with Arsenal and discuss a new contract. If not, and if he will continue with not playing, I think the player will go, because, as I said, he has many bids. He can decide, for example, between English clubs, English important clubs, who wants him also for the future, or going to play in a middle table club, but to be a top star of the future. So he has no problem for the future. He loves Arsenal. I have to be honest. I heard that he loves Arsenal. He would like to stay, but if he's not playing for a young talent, it's terrible, you know. So that's why he's waiting to understand what's going on. But I think he has also opportunity to stay if Arteta will make him play.
It's going to be difficult for him to play, though, isn't it? I mean, look at the players in front of him. You know, Lacazette, Aubameyang, Martinelli, Eddie Nketiah is still there. And the thing is, I mean, why can't they come to some sort of thing where maybe they'd sign him to a new deal, but then loan him out so he plays? What about something like that?
And this is not the priority for Fowler, you know. I'm told that he wants to be part of the project of the club, like, immediately. And obviously, you can say he's so young, he has many players, Arsenal, in attacking roles, so it's not easy, and I agree with you. But he wants to feel like part of the project of the club, also for the present. So what I have to say is that it's part of the idea of the player. And I think when you're ambitious, he feels like, okay, I'm ready to help this club. He wants to play, and we have to respect his ability. So let's see what's going on. But at the moment, it's still open. What I want to say also to Arsenal fans who are texting me, like, Fabrizio is leaving. Yes, it's a possibility, but it's not a done deal. So everything is open, and we will see in the coming weeks what's going on.
Okay. There's talk of Matteo Guendouzi, who of course is now at Hertha Berlin. He's been having a very good season. They scored the other day. There's talk of him coming back to Arsenal off the loan. We know that he went, you know, he was kind of shipped out unceremoniously because he weren't getting on with the manager, and there seemed to be a lot of problems there. But I've seen you speaking about this one. Gwen Doozy, is there a chance of him coming back?
You're right when you say that he's having a good season, because Hertha Berlin are so happy with him. And I was checking with people around the club, and they told me it's absolutely impossible that Gwen Doozy will leave the club in January. So we will see next summer what's going on with Arsenal. We will talk with Arsenal. So at the moment, the plan of Hertha Berlin is waiting, and then at the end of the season, they will talk with Arsenal about the situation of Gwen Doozy. But they are 100% sure that the player is not moving in January. So what we can say that Arsenal is not signing him back. And I think it's a similar situation with Torreira, with Torreira is different on the pitch just because he's not playing so much with Atletico Madrid. Simeone has different starters in this moment in midfield, but they want to keep Torreira, and also the agent of Torreira said many times the player wants to stay. So I think both will finish the season, one in Hertha Berlin and the other in Atletico Madrid, and then at the end of the season, they will decide about their future with Arsenal.
Yeah, because the Torreira thing, there was talk of him maybe going to Fiorentina.
Yes, but, it was a possibility, but I think no, just because also in this case, Fiorentina has a lot of midfielders. So if you change club and you're not playing also in Fiorentina, would be terrible also for the value of the player, So he prefers to stay at Atletico Madrid. The season is so long. They have also the Champions League, so they are fighting to win the La Liga this year. So they're having a good season, and he hopes to find some space in the coming weeks. So that's why Lucas Torreira is staying as Gwen Doozy to Hertha Berlin.
Okay, I've seen you talk a lot about this next guy. Emi Buendia. I've seen Arsenal fans asking you question after question after question. Will the Argentinian who plays for Norwich midfield, we're looking for that number 10 type player, that creative player. Could Buendia be heading to Arsenal? What's your verdict on it?
He's one of the options. I'm sure that he's one of the options. There's been some contact with his agents in the last weeks, like Arsenal making some inquiry with many agents. Obviously, when you're looking for a quality midfielder, and as we say, it's so difficult in this market to go, for example, to Lyon and spending 60 million euro, 50 million euro to sign a war. So it's so difficult to do this kind of move. But they were talking with the agent of Emi Buendia. They are interested in Emi Buendia, but is not sure that he will be the perfect player. So they will decide after selling players, the good option, the best option they have, they will go for it. But for sure, Emi Buendia is part of the list. He's appreciated, as you say, he's a skillful player, he's a quality midfielder, so he's perfect for what they're looking for. But I'm not sure yet that they will go for him. So, it's normal for a top club like Arsenal to talk with many agents and to be ready, in particular when you talk about a market that is a quick market like January. So you have like 10 days, 15 days to decide about your targets, and you have to be ready. Also, if one club will tell you, we are not selling this player, sorry, you have to be ready immediately with the other target. So it's normal that they are talking with many agents, with many opportunities, and for sure, Emi Buendia is one of the chances. But also Norwich want to keep the player, so it won't be so easy, but he's one of the options.
So what you're basically saying is not that it's not a thing that you feel at the moment and they're priced out or anything like that. They're just want to shift out players first.
Exactly.
Then they're going to have a look at, they might have a go at getting Buendia this January if it's doable.
Exactly. This is a strategy, but I want to say to Arsenal fans, I know you're the best one on Arsenal fans, so I'm happy to talk with the people, and I'm happy to say that it's not just a problem for Arsenal, to selling people and then selling players and then signing players. It's normal. Look at Barcelona; they are not doing anything till they sell a player, and it's the same for Real Madrid. They are not signing anyone. It's the same here in Italy with Juventus. Inter can't sign any player if they don't sell any player. Look at Eriksen. What's going on? If they don't sell Eriksen, they are not signing anyone. And the same for Bayern Munich, for many clubs. So it's a complicated market. So it's absolutely normal to wait a bit in this situation.
Okay, talking of Germany, Julian Brandt. That's another player that's been a lot of talk about. There's been talk that Borussia Dortmund would be willing to sell him for around about £22 million. Is he a player of interest, do you think, to Arsenal?
He's been scouted for sure. He's a player appreciated by Arsenal. This is true, but I've never been told that Borussia Dortmund were ready to sell him immediately in January. Just because their policy, their mentality is always to keep the squad in January and selling players during the summer. This is typical by German clubs, and in particular by Borussia Dortmund. They hate to sell players in January. So I think it would be really difficult to sign this player. It was really difficult, and now with the injury of Axel Witsel in midfield for Dortmund, to sell Brandt would be really, really difficult. So Arsenal needs to go with an important bid to talk with Borussia Dortmund, but I'm told that it's not easy. So at the moment, I would say it's one of the most complicated options they have, and I don't see Brandt moving to Arsenal in January. Then never say never in the market, but at the moment, he's not a real option for Arsenal, just because Borussia wanted to keep him in January, and also right now, after the injury of Witsel, probably they will.
Okay, at the start of the window, there was a lot of talk about Isco. Isco, of course, Real Madrid, not really getting the game time, 28 now, but still a good player. I heard a lot of talk about a possibility of a loan from now till the end of the season. Anything in that?
He was an option just because, Isco's been like offered to many clubs as opportunity because he wants to play more than this. At Real Madrid, he's not a starter, so it's normal. He was like his agent talking with many people, but at the moment, I'm told that there is nothing advanced with Arsenal. He's not desperate to leave the club. He's just talking with other clubs, but he's okay with Real Madrid. He's also okay for waiting like 6 months and then moving in the summer. So he has no rush to leave Real Madrid. If a good opportunity will come up, okay. If not, he is happy with Real Madrid till the end of the summer. Obviously, we will see what's going on, but at the moment with Arsenal, there is nothing advanced. I would say he's the perfect player, in my opinion, for Arsenal. They need this kind of player because he's a quality player, as we said, for Buendia, but he's also a potential leader. He won everything with Real Madrid. He knows what it means to fight, to win something, and this is what Arsenal needs in this moment, in my opinion. I always say, look what happened with AC Milan with Ibrahimovic. They were in a terrible situation 1 year ago. Do you remember also when they played in Europa League against Arsenal? They were terrible, and they signed Ibrahimovic. Okay, he's 39 years old, but he changed the club. In my opinion, Arsenal needs also this kind of players like Isco. He could be a leader, but at the moment there is nothing advanced.
All right. I mean, there have been some Arsenal fans saying, Isco, Robbie's, why are we getting these type of pleas over the hill? He's finished. But you don't think that?
No. I'm convinced that Isco is ready for a new chapter. He needs a new chapter, because at Real Madrid he's always been a good player, obviously a top quality player, but never a top starter for Real Madrid. So he needs to be important for a club. At Arsenal, he will be an important player, the quality midfielder. With Arteta, I think he would be perfect. I repeat, at the moment there is nothing, but I hope for him to move to this kind of clubs like Arsenal, because he needs to show his qualities, and I'm sure he's not finished. Trust me, Isco is a good player. And for example, I'm told that to make you understand, Massimiliano Allegri, the manager, he's not training any club right now, but the next club where he will go, the first player he will ask will be Isco, because he's in love with Isco. To make you understand that also top manager wants him. So let's see what's going on with Arsenal. I hope for you that you can go for this kind of targets, because really he's a good player in my opinion.
Yeah. What about this one? This is controversial, right? you mentioned Ibrahimovic, right? And this target here, well, I wouldn't say target, but this is a player that Mikel Arteta was asked about at his press conference. He didn't say, well, he swerved all of the questions. Diego Costa, who, of course, was at Atletico Madrid. He's now a free agent. So there is a possibility that you could buy a player like that on a short-term deal, say, for instance.
Possibility there is.
Anything in that?
No, just because possibility is possible, just because he's a free agent and you can sign him tomorrow morning with the right bid. At the moment, Arsenal have not done any bid to sign Diego Costa. So that's why Mikel Arteta is not speaking about him. And coming back to what we said about Balogun, you have many strikers like Aubameyang, like I said, and many others. So signing Diego Costa would be like, okay, I'm killing Balogun right now. So I think they will not go for him. He would like to go to the Premier League. Yeah? He would love to come back to the Premier League. So that's why he's waiting. He received some bids from Brazilian club, Chinese club. Al Hilal also wanted him in Arabian football, but he said, okay, let's wait a bit. I will decide with my family. He wants to wait for some Premier League clubs to arrive. Let's see, but at the moment, Arsenal have not made any move. But, with free agents, you can decide also the day before. As look at Manchester United, what they did for Cavani. They were never interested in Cavani for 3 months, and then in the last week, they signed Cavani. So anything can happen when these kind of strikers, when they are free agents.
Okay. Basuma at Brighton, defensive midfielder, again, another player who's been having a very good season, very consistent player. There's a lot of talk about Arsenal being interested in Basuma.
I'm told that they're scouting him. There is nothing advanced. It's not a serious opportunity for the moment. Then we will see in the summer. Probably he could be a target for the summer. Yes, because he's scouted. He's so appreciated by Arsenal. but there is nothing like official talks started with Brighton. So on this kind of targets, I think we need to wait, also because they are so happy in this position with Thomas. Obviously, he was an amazing deal, unexpected by my side, but it was an amazing deal. So yes, I think we have to wait till the summer for this kind of targets.
Okay, and the goalkeeping situation at Arsenal. Of course, we brought in Runnison. He hasn't had a great time since he's come in. He's looked a little bit shaky. He had that horror show against Man City. Now, there's talk already about him leaving the club.
Yes, he can go on loan. To be honest, David Ornstein has been amazing to report it. He's always amazing about Arsenal. So I'm happy to mention him. But yes, he can go on loan. Yes, it's a serious opportunity. And it will change the situation of goalkeepers for Arsenal, for sure. They're happy with Leno. But Runnison needs to go. I agree with you. He was terrible against Manchester City, so he needs to be a starter, to play. He needs to get confidence. It's similar to what's happening with Kepa with Chelsea, you know. Obviously, Kepa was paid like 80 million euros, so it was a different situation. But when a goalkeeper is not playing and then he plays and he's terrible, he needs to get confidence. So yes, he can leave the club, yes.
But have you heard of any there may be replacements? Because, you know,
at the moment,
we've effectively at the moment, Arsenal, we don't have a number 2 goalkeeper, do we?
Yes, I agree with you. But at the moment, I haven't heard anything advanced. But for sure, it would be an opportunity. They need to sign another goalkeeper if they loan out Runnison. So for sure, yes. At the moment, there is nothing advanced. Just because when you have a lot of players to sell, you are really focused on this. So as we said before, with Socrates, with Ozil, and another opportunity, they need to understand what's going on with Balogun. So they have some problems to resolve in the coming days. Then they will go in for the quality midfielder and also for the situation of the goalkeepers, for sure.
And one finally, Mustafi. There's still no word on it. I know that that's another player where they would like to see him go. He wants to go as well. There was talk that, you know, he was offered a new deal, which he turned down. Have you heard anything at all on him?
There were many rumors about Italian clubs, again, about Mustafi, with Lazio always linked to Mustafi and also Roma, but at the moment I'm told that they are not looking at Mustafi. Genoa were thinking on this opportunity before trying for Socrates. They were making a try also for Mustafi, but they hadn't an agreement with the player. So at the moment it's so difficult to move to Italy. Keep an eye on other clubs just because he's available on the market, as you said. So it's a good opportunity for many clubs. I heard also some rumors about Barcelona, but I have anything confirmed at the moment. So it's nothing serious yet. Barcelona are thinking on Eric Garcia and not on Mustafi right now. So for sure, he'll be one of the other players ready to leave Arsenal if a good opportunity will come.
Listen, Fabrizio, as usual, man, brilliant. Thank you very much for giving us a real insight into this January transfer window, which is a difficult window. January is always a difficult window, but as you're saying, this one is particularly difficult because of the situations the clubs are all facing because of this whole what's going on with the COVID stuff.
Yes, just because they're also paying the wages. You know, the only thing that is not changed is paying the salary to the players. You have to pay the salary to the players, and you have to buy the players when you want the new ones. But you are not having any money from the stadium, from the merchandising and everything. So that's why the situation is really complicated. But we hope next summer the situation will be back to the normality for our lives, obviously, and for the transfer market too. So thank you for having me as always, and thank you for the invitation, and see you soon, and good luck for us.
See you soon. Now, what we try and do, we try and see maybe if you're not too busy, man, try and catch up with you in that last week of the window. Perfect. Maybe see if there's any more activity around. But listen, Fabrizio, keep up the good work. Thank you very much. And also on AFTV, don't forget AFTV Picks, the chance to win £1,000 before Thursday's game against Crystal Palace. Make sure you get involved in that. But Fabrizio, thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you again. Bye.